What's up, YouTube? It's Steve Huber here with Billion Dollar Contractor. If I've never met you before, I own a company called Billion Dollar Contractor, and that's because we've done over $2 billion worth of solar, roofing, and HVAC projects in the last 15 years. And now we help contractors just like you do the same. So today I want to talk to you about comp plans. And I see so many questions and so much confusion in comp plans. And it's the first thing that all of our clients with us we look at and we take a deep dive into, and it's because most people get it wrong. So comp plan is how you pay your sales team, and the structure of your comp plan really determines entirely the activities and the motivation that your sales team has to do certain things. Okay, so we want to make sure that we do it well because it is the way that we guide and coach salespeople. They care about money, they want to get paid, and if we've given them incentive to do wrong activities, then they're incentivized to do the wrong activities. And guess what? They're going to do the wrong activities all the time. So let me walk you through the top, three things that I see people do wrong in their comp plans and the lasting impacts that it can have if you don't fix it, and how to fix it. So, very first one that I would flag is when your comp plan milestones, in other words, the money that you pay your sales team, is not aligned to the cash flows of your business. And this eventually becomes a big, big problem because sales will cost you so much to operate and so much advanced commissions and so much money that you put out there to these guys that you basically just run out of cash. You can't afford to grow anymore because commissions becomes the big bottleneck. And that's a big problem. Usually this comes about because salespeople will say, oh, I need immediate incentive. Oh, I need something right up front. And rather than dealing with that as a one-off exception to the rule, you write it as the comp plan and create it as the rule for everybody. Most salespeople, especially ones of us that have been in the industry for a long time and doing this for a while, know it takes a while to ramp up. We know that money takes a little bit of time to come in the door. But we have that one guy that started that said, well, I need money now. I need cash in my hand in the next week, or I can't work here. And we started building all of our comp plans and systems around that one person. Rather than saying, maybe he's the exception to the rule, we like him as a sales rep, see if we can work with him. But the comp plan is this way for everybody, okay? So today, if you're not matching your commission payouts and your commission milestones to the cash coming into the business, eventually it's going to become an unsustainable number for you, and it will break you at some point. The second biggest problem I see happening is that we haven't defined enough guardrails into our comp plan for what we want in sales to do. And this kind of goes back to paying at milestones. But I'll give you an example. I see a lot of companies that pay sales reps when a contract is turned in. And the problem is that the sales process doesn't end when we sell a contract. Selling a contract is our permission to get to work, and we still need sales involvement in the back end process to some extent to make sure that A, we've set good expectations with customers, we've not sold anything that's undeliverable, and B, if there's problems that come up on the back end, who do I want to call the customer? I want the sales rep to call the customer. They've got the best people skills, they have the best rapport, they know how to overall structure the deal to solve problems, certainly more than, kind of a generic admin person would be. And so I want sales incentivized to work through and build the job and base their milestones based on how those come in. So a better way to do that, instead of paying your sales team 100% money or a certain percent of commission when they first turn in a job, could be their uncle for all you know that they're turning in jobs for. Instead, make that first payment after you've verified the contract. Maybe you've done a welcome call or a site visit's been scheduled. Or my personal favorite is you've done a site visit, you've verified that the job can be built as sold, there's no permits or anything like that, and we either have a deposit or financing in place so I know I have a build-ready job that I can get paid on. That's when the sales job is done with that first portion, and that's when we feel good about getting them paid. If a rep's worried about not getting paid fast enough in that scenario, great news. Get your financing and your deposit up front. Make sure you sell the job right so it doesn't have change orders. You do those two things, you'll get paid pretty dang quick. So incentivize those right behaviors right up front. It will make a massive difference in how your projects get built later on down the road. The last one I see a big problem with is we've just simplified our comp plan too much when it comes to profitability. We're not involving sales enough in profit, or we completely open up the books to them and basically give them all the profit. Neither one of those are great. Great sales relationships are really partnerships. The company wins when we sell a good job, sales wins when we sell a good job, and both partners roughly do good on the project. Nobody's getting over on the other one, okay? And that's how we want to incentivize our comp plans. So let me give you some example. A very common comp plan is one where we pay commissions basically on a certain threshold above what was called a red line. And the problem there is that we've basically given away all of our profit out to the sales team and let them go do what they need to do. You'll eventually just keep getting grinded down by your sales team, lower and lower and lower in all the red lines. You carry all the liability with all the materials in the warehouses, and they get to grind you down on red lines. It's a recipe for disaster. Another concept I see is just a straight flat commission, where the sales rep just gets paid a certain percentage of the job to turn it in, and that's it. The problem with that one is our sales team's incentivized to just give the lowest possible price without any concern for profitability on the project. I like to work in a hybrid model where we establish a minimum retail price that the company is comfortable at. We make great money at that model. We're totally fine running the business there, and we pay a percentage of that out to the sales rep so that they have a guaranteed way to make some money without having to understand the nuances of the job. Anything they sell above and beyond that mark, then they get basically profit sharing on. Again, we're a partnership. They don't get 100% of the money. We split the profit on anything they get above and beyond. So let's say that a contract has a minimum retail price that we know internally of $20,000, and they sell it for $21,000 because they don't need to drop it all the way to $20,000. There's $1,000 in there that's basically above minimum retail. They get $500, the company gets $500, and they get their flat commission on the $20,000 overall. Everybody wins. Sales is protected. They don't need to worry a bunch about profitability, but they still have some skin in the game if they can get some extra profit, and they're not incentivized to give away the farm. Of course, if you have unique challenges in your comp plan or a unique scenario that you'd like to look through, hit us up. We're here to help. We'd love to see you win. And again, put your comp plan in the right places, and if you do that, your sales team is going to put you in a good position to be successful and make money long term.